All right, guys, so let's talk about it's one of these things that you've been hearing for a couple years, and you've been hearing that people are going gluten-free and doing all of this different things when it comes to gluten. Um, and I just want you to know that there's a lot of different opinions on gluten, but I just, again, as always, I just want to give you the facts. So here's what I know about gluten. Gluten is a protein that's found in wheat, barley, and rye. Okay, and it's a protein that basically gives those things its shape. So it's kind of acts like as a glue to hold things together. Why are people sensitive to gluten? They're sensitive to gluten because of that stickiness of it, I guess you would call it. It tends to get stuck in their intestines and on the little villi in their intestines, and it just doesn't make them feel very good, and it just really kind of runs rampant on their digestive system. Okay, so remember a couple weeks back I had asked you to start journaling and start really figuring out what it was that could make you feel upset, or journaling to see if there was certain things that were triggering different responses in your body. If you notice that when you had any sort of pasta or wheat or rye, bread, barley, any of those things, if you notice that something was a little off, in your body, or you felt sluggish, or you didn't feel like yourself after eating those things, that's maybe a trigger that your body has a gluten free. I'm not going to say that you're a celiac, because celiac means that you're 100% like allergic to gluten. But sometimes we just have gluten sensitivities where gluten just makes us lethargic, gives us a headache. It makes us sleepy or groggy. It gives us those stomach pains that are usually associated with IBS, right? I call it like gurgly tummy. So again, the journaling is really important, because that's going to help you figure out what is triggering some of this stuff. What is going on here? And a lot of times your symptoms with gluten can go on for a long time, even after stopping eating gluten, because it's so sticky and it kind of sticks in your system. Okay, so for me personally, I've tried to cut out gluten, and then I've added it back, and I don't see a huge difference. So for me, I don't cut out gluten. However, I don't really eat a lot of breads or pastas or things like that. Like when I get my carbs, I'm usually getting my carbs from beans and vegetables, because vegetables are a carb. I get them from sweet potatoes and squash, all vegetables. But, every once in a while I have toast, and the toast that I buy is called Ezekiel toast or Ezekiel bread. It's in the frozen section, and that is sprouted grain. So it's definitely has more nutritional value for you a lot. And yes, I treat myself. Remember, I have that 80-20 rule, so you guys should have that as well. But I just want you to be aware. Again, it comes down to being aware for what works for you. So when you hear that people are being gluten-free, it doesn't mean that you have to be gluten-free. It doesn't mean that you'll lose weight if you're gluten-free. Just find out what your body wants and what your body needs. And if you're questioning it, there are many people out there that do blood work to give you your food allergies. And if gluten comes up as one of them, or you have a gluten sensitivity, then you know for sure that you shouldn't really be eating gluten, that you should be staying away from it. Okay, so that's really all you need to know about gluten. You don't have to freak out and say, I'm never going to eat gluten again. It's just one of those things that you have to know how it affects your body, and just be aware. As we get healthier and we're making better choices, it's easier for us to see and feel how things are affecting our body. So I'd like to hear, again, your thoughts on gluten. Do you eat it? Are you celiac, or do you have a gluten sensitivity that you know of? I just love to hear your thoughts and kind of how much gluten do you eat? Is it something that you want to cut back on? Did you see that gluten was maybe a problem in your journaling when you journaled last week? So let me know what you're thinking, and can't wait to see. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you tomorrow.